Well, let's get a bit more on the state visit by Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe. We speak now to SABC News contributing editor Vuyo Mvoko, coming to us live from the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Vuyo, good morning to you once again. What's happening there at the moment?
Well, thanks very much, Ayanda, and welcome back to a rather noisy Union Buildings at the moment. Workers busy cleaning, removing dead leaves, cleaning up the place, but also it's been wet because of overnight rain, so they are trying to take out the excess water that one finds in and around the place where the pomp and ceremony will take place, we are told, in about 2 hours' time. And with the weather being a bit uncertain as well, we are told they are now currently also busy working on plan B in the event there is rain. The portion behind me, the amphitheater, is where it's all going to happen. But we are told that in the event it rains, all of that will be moved to a much smaller place behind me, but to my left. So at the moment, a lot of noise. I'm sure you can hear the lawn mowers, you can hear the machines they use to remove dead leaves and so on, as well, of course, as the machines that they are using to dry the pavement and the steps behind me. So at the moment, that is what is happening. We are told that the ceremony itself, the pomp and ceremony, will start around 10 to 10. Ayanda?
Thank you so much, Vuyo. We can certainly see the activity taking place there behind you, finishing touches being laid to the processes. But a number of issues are expected to be up for discussion as well today. I wanted to touch on the SADC summit on industrialization later this month. Talks about Zimbabwe struggling to raise funds regarding that particular summit. Do we know whether or not that will be up for discussion?
Well, I mean, that rumor has been going on for quite a number of days now, but as you will expect with those kinds of things, it's unlikely that any of the parties involved, South Africa and Zimbabwe, the South African and Zimbabwean governments, will want to openly admit to something like that, because obviously it'll sort of give credence from where they sit, that is, that Zimbabwe doesn't have money to do the things that it is supposed to do, or perhaps that it is taking more than it can chew. And I'm sure South Africans would be actually not too keen to be seen to be exposing their neighbor, especially now because, I mean, with negotiations, whether it's over trade deals or political relations for that matter, no one wants to go in there and having to be on the back foot, so to speak. And do remember that these relations, as much as the two governments have been working on them for quite some time, it doesn't mean that all is hunky-dory. I mean, there has been instances of outbursts with President Robert Mugabe, as many people will remember, some time ago, lashing out at President Jacob Zuma's envoy. So it's not like these relations are all good and there are no, sensitivities. So no one would really want to speak about that particular issue of the industrialization and whether South Africa would agree to fund that particular conference. So if it is indeed the case, it is being kept under wraps for good measure, certainly from where the two governments sit.
Vuyo, President Mugabe has made some concessions regarding land tenure reform in his country, admitting that large amounts of land now lie unproductive, that perhaps people acquired land which was too much for them to manage, and that they did so as a status symbol and not really to be productive. With the land debate raging in South Africa, is President Mugabe likely to touch on it at all? Do we know?
I think it is to be expected. I mean, it's a reasonable expectation given exactly what you're saying, but also remember that one of the parties that are agitating for land reform at the moment is actually the EFF. And incidentally, the EFF takes a lot of inspiration from the Zimbabwe situation, or specifically how President Robert Mugabe is handling the situation. So an astute politician would actually want to make sure, certainly from the point of view of government, would actually want to make sure that President Mugabe and Zimbabwe's ruling party would actually be on the side of the ruling party here in South Africa, because you wouldn't want a situation where on the one hand you're trying to build and improve the relations you have with ZANU-PF as a party, but also with the government of Zimbabwe. Then on the other hand, you discover that they are in bed with someone who is trying by all means not to make your life comfortable. So it's a bit of a tricky situation, but one which I'm sure the government would want to navigate and actually make sure that there is a common understanding between the two governments on the land question, and if there are lessons to be learned or issues to be discussed behind closed doors, they actually do that.
We'll have to leave it there, at least for now. An incredibly interesting issue as well there. Thank you so much, Vuyo Mvoko, coming to us live from the Union Buildings in Pretoria. He will continue to bring us regular updates during the course of the events today.